Hi, I went live on the wrong one. 50-50 chance setting 2 days up. um, Hang on a second. Hello, hello. So I've sent the right one out, but I've clicked on the wrong one. But we're here now. I'll have to reset up tomorrow's. 2 seconds. I'm just going to do the whole. Oh dear. Excuse me. I'm growling. I've had my tea though, so I should be tummy shouldn't be growling. That's maybe why. Oh, I'm coming. So it's Christmas. And I'm done. Hello. Hi Val. Hi Lorna. Hi Maureen. Hi Lisa. Hi Sarah. In the right one. Hello, hello, hello. Right. So last week I was going to do this, but changed it last minute to do the whole wax thing, mainly because this one wasn't dry. But this is kind of like we're going to do. We're going to change it up and paint the. Because all I did with this one is paint it black, then went over with metallics. So that's this plant pot. My paintbrushes have been wet inside of it, but it's fine. And this is actually the one that we are going to do tonight. I had to wait for it to dry. Oh, I had to wait for it to dry. So I probably won't get it all done, but we'll get a good whack of it done. Now, the molds I've used are Iron Orchid Designs, which is a Prima marketing brand. Clay, use whatever you want. On this one, I've used paper clay that I've already done. This clay is a Wood Effect Fimo air dry. I've never used it before, so we'll see what happens. Hi, Kim. Yeah, well, I love the molds and things as well, but I've never actually purchased them until recently. Obviously some of the molds I have, but I've got the insect one and I've got the birds one. So I just thought I would show you what I did with one of the molds and then move on to how and just explain how I stuck it all on and stuff. It's impossible to do it all in one live, and I think the decorating side of it, everybody can push some clay into a mold. I use resin, whatever makes you happy. I've never used this before. I'm dying to use it though. It's like a Wood Effect one. I know Daz do one. DES. What is it called? Das or Daz, not like the washing powder. They do a Wood Effect one now, which I've got somewhere as well. But whatever clay makes you happy. If the plant pots are going outside, look at that, isn't that cute? Cockroach. But all I did was I used an acrylic glue, but you can use whatever, like normal nails. Oh, hi, Rianne. Or whatever you want. And all I did was I popped them on, glued them on, and then left them for a week. This plant pot is from my local garden centre thing. Like, this is the squidgy clay. If this goes outside, it will have to have like 95,000 coats of yacht varnish on. I'll lift you up a bit further. Hang on. How much mess can we see? What's the light like? It looks dark to me. Hold on, let's just. That's better. Oh, all right there. So this one I thought we could make more colourful. I've squished me. This is a Stamperia mould, actually, these mushrooms. So I've mixed and matched them all. I'm going to pop this over here though. And I just thought we'd play it. Tomorrow night we're doing faux leather. Getting back into it. Being new parent and all that. The mould names are Iron Orchid Designs. And one is called Specimens. That's the insect. And the other is called, excuse me, Dewdrop Pond. DEWDROP. Kiss. Just in case I'm not making any sense, right? I'm going to have to lift it up a bit further. So all I did was, when they were still wet so that it bends around, these ones were already made. These leaves and things are Stamperia. This is out the mould, but the leaves and things are Stamperia. I use an acrylic glue, but you can use normal nails. You can use Whatever you want. It depends what you're doing with it. I suppose as long as you put 16 million coats of yacht varnish on it, anything's fine. So I've got a whole collection of acrylics behind us. 2 seconds. I'm literally running out of space. I've been busy all way. I was going to be busy all day. Then I went out for breakfast with Bella and Michael. You know how it goes. So what I thought was, we'll just play with all the colours that I can possibly get my hands on. Use whatever acrylics you've got. I've got a complete collection here of Pentart. I've got Dinah Wakely. I've got Jane Davenport. I have Golden, Amsterdam. I've got a bit of a thing for paints, whether it be watercolours or whatever. I love them. I love me paints, I do. Oh, I could probably paint the whole house with acrylics I've got. Cause you use outdoor. See, I've got a love-hate with Mod Podge. Yeah, if it says outdoor, I think so. I don't know. I love the dishwasher one. Saying that, mate, I do love the Mod Podge for adding glitter to stuff. I don't love the Mod Podge for paper crafts. That's the only thing, because in a journal it makes everything stick together. And that's not to say there's anything wrong with Mod Podge. I just want to stress this. Everybody, like, different strokes for different folks. I do want to stress that, because there's nothing wrong with it at all. The dishwasher Mod Podge is awesome. Try it. You know what I can say. If you like it, yeah, go for it. So I've got some long paintbrushes, unfortunately. Have I got any short ones? Oh, dropped all my paintbrushes. I have got a few short ones I can use. Right, we'll go with these. I'll put the big ones back. The long paintbrushes are absolutely useless for when I'm under the camera. Has everybody had a nice week to start off with? I'll push some paints to the side. There we go. So do like and share and all that jazz. Invite your crafty friends. I think most people are probably out having lives. So I'm going to start off with green. This is System 3, which is Dowler Rooney. And I think I'll add in some Philo Turquoise, which is Deco Arts. Basically, use whatever you want, acrylic-wise. And all I'm going to do is start in the background. And I'm not bothered about going over anything. This brush is actually a makeup brush. It tells you makeup brush. All over. And it's just a base coat. We'll probably change most of it. Don't worry about going over anything. That's the good thing about acrylics. You can kind of go back over and change it. And bring things out with dry brushing, and there's loads of things you can do. I would gesso everything first though. I kind of forgot that stage, and gesso will just help your paints not to soak in as much. And it will give you an even surface to start painting onto. So I'm going over the ladybird and everything. Hi, Carol. Oh, I'm going to go back in. Got the dragonfly. The dragonfly's out the IOD mould. Again, just a good coat everywhere. I literally think I will just do half of this though, because if I go too far with it, we'll be dry on one side and then not the other, and so on and so forth. What's everybody had for tea? On your moulds and things, don't forget the tops. So going in around all the tops of your moulds and things. Can everybody see okay? And more green. You're going to get loads of different shades of green using the turquoise blue and the green. You can even incorporate yellows and browns and things in. This is going to be my base coat. Do you use Mod Podge for everything, Sarah? Do you love it for everything, or am I just being snobby because it made me stuff stick together? I do love the dishwasher stuff. I think it's the best thing ever. But I wouldn't use it for anything I didn't want stuck together. I think I'm digging myself into this hole deeper, aren't I? Oh, sausage and chips sounds nice. We did breakfast out, so I have to be good for tea. I've been out twice this week for breakfast. Because Bella likes to go out for breakfast, it turns out. So that's the excuse. So getting in all the nooks and crannies. Now again, I would always put the molds and things on first, doing this, because once they're dry, they're not going to bend around. And putting it on to the plant pot first means that they'll stay better. And I mean, it's the same for a lot of things. They'll stay better, especially home decor and things like that, or things that might go outside. Whoa, I'm going to say, all right, lift it up further. There we go. So anybody who's on Facebook, I set the wrong live away. I set tomorrow's away, so I'll have to reset that up and change it. There's a brief exclamation on it. And me going, oh, typical. So that is my first layer of what is going to be a very, very bright plant pot. And I'm going to dry that off super quick, hopefully, and then we can move on. Oh, you know what I need? I think these lives I might need to do it in the kitchen so I can get the light up higher. There we go. So I can get the camera up higher, dry that off, and I can read some comments. The green and the turquoise is lovely together. But the green I used is a olive green by System 3 Dowler Rooney, and the is Philo Turquoise by Decawart if you just want to recreate it, but use any that you've got. Mince and dumplings sounds lovely as well. I'll probably have some chocolate peanuts, to be honest, and I'll say I'm being good. I was ramming them down before the live, so I'm totally lying. I'm already eating them. If I say it in my head, it doesn't sound like I'm being naughty. It's only when I say I'm eating it out loud that it becomes naughty. Is anybody else the same, or is it just me totally lying to myself? So I've been working on next month's collection. I say next month, it's like the end of April, isn't it? And I normally bring them out. And it's quite exciting. I'm loving it. If you love the last one, you'll love this one. Different, very different from the last one, but also very similar. You will see. So that'll be dry enough. So I'm going to take white now and I'm going to brush over the top of all the detail, and it'll just make it easier to pull out some of the colours. So literally you won't need much white at all. And I need a scrubby brush that is dry, that's soaking still. I just washed my brushes just before. Oh, I'm not good at all. Like, I need me jaw wired, I think. If I pretend I'm being good though, I'll maybe trick my body into thinking I am. Oh, tiny little bits for dry brushing. I'll go with the frog first. My brush is probably still too wet, but you know, it'll be fine. because all I want to do is sort of get rid of some of the green off these bits. Not all of it. I'm not bothered about down the sides because basically that'll act as it's coloured in, it'll blend. Again, the leaves, the ladybird, probably more on the ladybird. The leaves, I could probably leave the leaves and just do some darks around them, but again, going over with the white makes it different to the background. The snails, not too bothered about them being totally covered. I'm going to bet this is still wet round here because I didn't dry it, but we'll go over it as well. Now, the ladybird things, you can start adding in metallics and stuff. When you're done, everything's dry, but I wouldn't worry too much about it now. Dry brushing as well dries super quick. I'm so sorry I keep hitting the camera. Getting further and further around. I think that's going to be the plan. Next time I plan on doing anything like this, because I've got a bit of furniture in my kitchen. There's no way I was getting in there tonight to do this. To paint. Oh, there's a bit round the top as well. There we go. So now we can start bringing in the detail with the other colours. Now I'm thinking I'm going to use this, and where's the red gone? It's going to be little bits. How long do you leave the molds to dry? I left mine a week. But I mean, if you're giving it away as a present or you're going to sell them or whatever, I would leave it a good couple of weeks before selling it after, just to make sure everything's totally dry all the way through. The molds are totally dry though now. Totally dry. But I would leave it a good week before you sell it because the layers need time to dry. Just like that. The ladybirds will be red. Again, not worried too much about it going around the edges. You can't just wipe it back. Another ladybug. And we can go back and add more detail as we go. To be honest, nobody's going to pick the plant pot up and go, well, you've got red on that leaf. It's wrong. Because the plant pot, when you look at it from a distance, it's going to be, did you really paint that? That's fabulous. That's what you're after. Hopefully. So I'm just cleaning the brush off here. And I'm going to get some brown. It doesn't have to take 300 years to do it. If you want to sit and paint it all with a tiny little fine brush, go for it. But to be honest, that's when, if you make a mistake, that's when it's going to show up most. And you'll have to start the whole thing over again, or you'll be forever patching it up. Whereas doing it this way, especially for plant pots and things, if you're doing it and people are going to actually look at it and pick it up and examine it, then I'd be a bit more wary. But at the minute, if anybody picks it up and says that's wrong, tell them they don't have to have it. Don't have to look at it then. To be honest, that's what I would do. And bring in a little bit brown around the top. You'd even take some of it down around the bottom, and you're basically just building up a kind of what's the word I'm looking for? A scene. I mean, already it looks totally different just having a couple of colours on than what it did before. Stay. Now, here's my debate. Do we have an luminous pink frog? Or should we stick to some real colours? Because I've got fluorescent pink there and I love it. That is the question. Oh, go with a blue frog. What colour frog should we have? Because we don't have anything at all that we want. Should we stick to pink snails? Just put a little bit pink on the snails and leave the frog with the right colour. Oh, I've got this actually. We're going to have the frog real colours. Oh, no, I've got it. We're going to have malachite coloured dog. Are you all right, Sarah? It's a nightmare, isn't it, when Facebook does that? I have used the traditional on the spot. Right, right. See, I've only ever had to stick stuff in journals and stuff, and that's what kind of upset us. A little bit on the leaves. And it's enough to upset us when my journal sticks together, honestly. Like enemy number one. No, the dishwasher one is absolutely fabulous. I love it so much. But I've never used it since, really. Well, bringing all the colours in elsewhere as well will just make everything match that little bit more. So even if it's just a little bit and you're going to cover most of it over with other colours, then so be it. But it'll all sort of match together. Need some darker green. Darker green. This one. It's not darker, it's called... What is this called? Parrot green. You'd think I would know that, wouldn't you? You can use any kind of palette that you want. You can use an old plate. My mum always used an old plate. There we go. And we're going to darken it all down later when it's dry. As well. Touching them up. Any little bits. You can go back and touch any bits up that really bug you later. So I can't lift it any higher. You can't go up any higher than that, but that's all right. That'll do. Everybody all right there? And again. Listen, it could be pink. Green along the bottom of the snail. All this side will be done by the next time you see it, but I just thought for tonight it's a bit much to do it all. I love the snail so much. I think this bit here is probably what we're going to work on mostly. Round here to here. That'll do, won't it? Like that. Ladybird. Oh, Ladybird's supposed to be red, Emma. We're getting the red back out. Hi, Helen. You've not used Mod Podge for paper. Oh, just traditional. Right, I'm with you now. Sorry. Pop that in there, and I'm going to bring in another brush that hasn't got any other colour on to make these ladybirds red. Super red. I seen my first ladybird last week, which means summer is coming. The spring at least. All around. I lose the power of speech when I start to concentrate as well. I start talking monotone. And then I'm going to paint it red, and then I'm going to paint it. Go. So again, don't worry too much about getting right up to the edge of it, because that's when you start. Hi, Caroline. That's when you start to like get it on the back, and you start to panic about it, and you're thinking, does it look right? Does it not look right? Don't overthink it too much, because like I say, there's absolutely nobody going to pick it up and tell you you've done it wrong. So any bits like this where you kind of feel like you need to, that's totally white, just touch them up and go back round after. But the green blends in with the background, so it's not going to matter too much. And to be honest, these leaves here could have a little bit of colour as well. Because if you look, leaves are every which colour. Even when they're green, you can still see touches of the colours in. Are we liking it so far? The frog's probably going to take the most work because of the detail in it. But again, you can Oh, Rihanna, that's lovely. Ah, see, Kim, you're probably overthinking it. Because I don't believe that for 1 second. You're probably just overthinking it. Right, I've got this here. This is indigo blue paint and it's called Hot Cocoa. And I just want a tiny, tiny little bit. Now, the dry brushes are the best, but I just washed mine like 5 minutes before I went live. So I'm drying them like crazy on here. But to dry brush, you need a dry brush. And what you're doing is you're putting the colour on and then taking it off. And then this is where you're going to bring in the most detail. Now this snail here is perfect because he's got the green going on. And then we can go over the brown and then we can just bring out detail with a darker colour later. This one I'll probably add more to him. Now the frog, I'm kind of going to go under here straight away. Now I am touching the plant pot because he needs somewhere to sit. He needs to have a shadow underneath his legs and things, or else he will look like he's flying in the air. So all along the bottom, this is where you're going to kind of add shadow the most. And can you already see how he's starting to look? And then take some off the paintbrush again. And then really, really lightly over the detail. And you can take it darker and darker as you go. But this is the same for anything. If you've got texture on art journals or cards, you can do the same technique to bring out the texture of like stencils that you've gone through. And you will get very, very similar results. But it's harder to take away dry brushing than it is to add more. So just go canny as you go, and then you can always add more. Am I making sense? I feel like I'm talking in riddles. If I'm not, you can see what I'm doing. Just call me the Riddler. Well, now, right, the Alice in Wonderland ones, I have to say, I've never, ever, ever seen any of those moles that don't look like I'm not going to say painted by a 5-year-old because I bet you they do not. But they all look really vintage. And I've got a funny feeling that's the way they're made. Because it can't be everybody. I'm making sense. That's good. See, so Kim, I think you've just been hard on yourself. I have never, ever seen an Alice in Wonderland that hasn't looked like vintage and like the paint's wearing, or what's the words I'm looking for? I just think you're being hard on yourself. I really do. I'm going to come back in with some of the turquoise blue on this snail. And it's probably a little bit wetter than I wanted, but I really want the detail on him. And, oh, there. That's what I wanted on the lizard. I want to have my blue back. The newt. We get newts in England, don't we? So it's best to leave them to dry between layers. So if you're going to do it, sort of have it standing up. But I'm here and showing, and my camera's up here, so it's really hard. And I keep pulling bits off. There'll be bits on the desk, like there, where I've turned it and it's been a bit wet. But I would say if you're putting them outside, a yacht varnish is what you're going to need. Go underneath the snails to give them some grounding around the ladybird. Just with darker. I'll probably go even darker than this as well. I'm adding blue to the brown. I don't know if you can see off to the side here, but it's getting slightly darker as we go. In here, where I've left it lighter, you can go in. So it's the turquoise blue that I used to start off with. I'm using. It's less severe than a black, but it's dark enough to cast a shadow. You can even go under here as well. And around everything. And this is exactly the same, you know, when I go around on the images and stuff with the watercolour, it's exactly the same deal as that, but you're just doing it on a different surface. And then check that one and see what's going on. I'll go around the top of the frog. I probably still will go darker around the frog, and you can add in the detail of his eyes and things like that with a little pen if you want, or just pull it out with wax, or I've got gilding wax and stuff we can use. Under the lizard. Now Payne's Grey would be perfect shadow for this, which you could use a tiny little bit black in a navy blue and you'll get a Payne's Grey-ish. You see how it's starting to come to life. Now over the top of here, I'm going to go over with the brown because toadstools and things, some paint off there, always look dirty to me. Even the ones that are super bright, like you see on the telly and things like that, they still look like you wouldn't want to eat them. I'm so mad that I squashed that one. I put it up against the bench and there was a coffee behind it, a tin of coffee. Your coffee, Maureen. I'm out. You're getting the blame. Not really, I'm joking. As I put it up against the bench and pushed it back because little girl Bella can't see the bench, can't see the top of the cupboard of the bench, but she can jump and get stuff from the middle of the bench. Just like an athlete. Right, so I'm thinking that might be enough. I mean, moles might be dry enough to move on to the next bit. So I want to dry it just a little bit. Always, Maureen, if I can blame somebody else, it's you. Or Chris, or Grumpy. But it really was the coffee you got. You've never used... Oh, getting it out. Oh, it's fabulous. The moles, I got... Lorna. Lorna told me where to get them. Lorna! What are they called? Pretty little something. No, it's not. Anyway, Lorna, we need a list, please. Hi, Faye. Hi, anybody that's popped in. I'm kind of just waffling away and concentrating at the same time. We're doing half a plant pot. Now, the frog, I'm really happy with him as he is, but I do need more dark on, and I am going to go in with black. Now, I will be going very, very, very lightly. That is lit. Tiny little dot. I do want more green, though. I'll go in green first, then black. I'm going to put the lid on that so we don't have a repeat of last week. Doodle dash. There you go. I'm going with a brighter green to start off with, and then I'm going to go in with the black, and then we'll add some wax and things, and hopefully it will look somewhere near what I would do. On the other one that I did, this one, I used a crackle all over as well, and I forgot to add it to this one. This one here's got a crackle on, so it's got even more texture. But you can do it with, I mean, to be honest, do it with the stuff you put in walls, fill holes with, filler. There you go. Thank you very much. I never remember names. But that's where I got mine from, where Lorna said. So I'm going to bring in some brighter greens just to the front. I want all the shadow behind, so we're just going lightly. Even have a little bit on here. I'm not sure. Just on his back. Just a little bit. And these ones. Just because I want it to be more springy. And down the side of the lizard. You can take it back. Have a cloth next to you if you don't like fingers being messy. You can even wear gloves to do this if you're a bit ew about sticky hands and things. I've got a Christopher who's ew about sticky hands. Never used to be mine. It's totally COVID thing. Washing his hands a gazillion times has made him do it, but that's better. I can see it in the light. Right, and now what I'm doing is taking as much of this green off as possible, and I'm going to get the black on and then take it off. And this is holding it near the end and not pushing on. I put them on wet. If I want them to bend around anything, I put them on wet. I use an acrylic glue or something like No More Nails. So something like, it depends what I'm doing with it. It's, acrylic glue should do it, but the No More Nails stuff, if you're doing it on outside stuff, will stick even better. Silicone glue, bathrooms and things, just depends where you're putting them. Right, I'm going even further up the brush. I've been doing journals with... Oh, nice, Kim. I need to see them. And again, over the top of the ladybird. More at the front, heavier with the black, because they have black faces, don't they? I know they have black spots, but you can go back in with a acrylic pen. Start on the leaves, bring out the detail. Definitely less is more when it comes to the dark, though. You'll have to, because you'll have to wash your piece really, spray it with water. And if you're doing it like me, straight all in one and not letting the layers dry properly, you're going to wash all the paint off. Oh, it's the same as when you're doing gilding wax and things. If you use your ring finger, you don't push on as hard. So I will show you tomorrow's project and redo the live that I start tonight accidentally before we go. But it's been ages since I've done it, the faux leather. So again, more down the bottom of the snails. In fact, that was basically reminders before I go to show you what we're doing tomorrow night. Over here, I want these darker underneath the mushrooms. And I would say these would have plants in, but they won't because I kill everything I get. I'm saying that, I got a magnet cactus from holiday last year and it's still alive on my fridge, but I think Christopher's looking after it. Because if it was down to me, it would be gone already. I've dropped it twice. So, see this mold here, Rianne? This one was, I'm going to let set first and I kind of tried to force it down with the glue, but obviously I haven't done a very good job. Now with that, what I would do to have it outside is I would just yacht varnish underneath. I would seal every inch of it. To the Lorna. I got mine off I just got mine off Amazon, but if there's a dupe to it, then the heck yeah. I won the paper collection. Oh, Kim. Show me. Send us pictures, please. So again, with these mushrooms, I want them really quite dark down the bottom. Like here's some. Keep going with the dry brushing. And over the top as well. The lizard. But less is more, less is more, less is more. No, it's not. Yes, it is. When you're doing darker, yes, it is. Around the lizard. But don't overthink it. Basically, if you get more on in one place, just go back over with your colour once it's dry. Just this way it's less faff of having to redo it. And there's always dark and light, no matter where you are. So it could just be a dark bit of where there's no light. Under the frog again. Around the frog. That's better already, isn't it? Now the frog, I've got some mini crowns somewhere. I can't find them. But I will add it. I will hunt it out. Because I've spent the day tidying this bit of the desk. Not that looks like it now. The side of us does not look anything. It's horrible. But that there, I think I'm happy with that. I'm not even going to change his eye because I like that. I might add a little white dot just to bring him to life, like, but I don't know if I even want to do that because it's not like, I suppose it's fairy tale-ish, but it's not, you know, like the girls that I do when I put the whites in the eye and stuff like that. Should we just do it and see what it looks like? I can always go over it, can't I? Where's my white? Does he look like he's... Oh no, he looks evil. Take it off. Yeah, we're going to leave it like that. And I'm going to find some wax. There is, oh, copper patina. This one is a Stamperia one. And using your ring finger, put some on and then use the lid as your palette and take it off. And then, now you can do whatever colour you want, your colour of choice. I really like this copper and I really like the way it sort of jumps off. And I will wiggle it to show you in a second. But just by using this finger, use anything you want. Just by using this, you're not putting as much pressure on it. And that was a tip my mum learned as years ago when she painted the fireplace. It's still black. Years and years ago, she painted the fireplace at home, my old home, when I was a kid. And she told us about this. And it's kind of stuck with us, but you use whatever finger that you want. If you want it on more heavy, use a different finger. But just by this, it kind of controls it a little bit. And you don't end up with a big splodge if you don't want it. Because again, less is more until you see how much you want on. And we're going with, if you've got glitter acrylics, if you've got pearlescent acrylics. This one, I don't want to add glitter or anything to it. I quite like the fact that it's like this. And I do have to do the other side, but I do think he needs a crown. Should I put some? But from that to that, no time at all really. And you can take it as dark as you want. You can use stencils on it. You can go back over and you can even use this sort of thing with your brushes and just start introducing it to the background as well, just so it all matches. And because this pot wasn't a terracotta pot. Is that terracotta? It's not orange terracotta anyway. It's some sort of plastic. It's handmade. And the only reason I'm doing this too, it's a very nice pot, but it's had a chip out of. And I got it cheap for this reason. I thought it would be great to do decoration on. The chip I've covered. And go all the way around the edges with it. And really bring it to life. If it's not going to have a big planting that's all fluffy and stuff, I would paint inside as well. But like I say, you can go either the black and then just dry brush over with your patinas and your rust, not your rusts, your patinas and stuff like this, your different waxes, and have it quite steampunky looking. Or you can bring it to life like this, and I'll get pictures of it tomorrow when the sun shines, so you can see it more. But I will carry on and paint the other side, and hopefully, I'm hoping it'll look better because the lighting here is atrocious. This is literally the only light I can see. And it's all on the pot. But there we go. Yeah, I'm quite happy with that. I'd probably still go darker. And if I do anything else to it, I'll show you exactly how I did it. Be it on this pot or a different pot tomorrow before we start the faux leather. But I'm thinking, I like that. I like that a lot. And again, if you do go too dark, I'll do it now quickly. Using the same brush. This is the bit of paper, this is the bit of tissue I've been painting today with. It's Bella keeps running away with all my tissues, so I was down to that because she just destroys everything in a week, like if it's paper. Where's my white gone? Where's my white? There it is. it's totally changed it, hasn't it? And it doesn't take much. It's just a little bit of acrylic. And if you do go wrong and you absolutely hate it, just paint over it and do it again. It takes tiny amounts of paint. So if you do feel like you've gone too dark, just go back over and add a highlight in places. Like the snail could do with a highlight up here probably. As the sun's shining on him. The frog could maybe do a little highlight on his nose. Some of the leaves maybe. So just bring it back to life. And if you hate your background, just start bringing it to life with a little bit white. If it's too much, don't worry about it. Just get a damp tissue and take it back. And then go back in with some of the blue. And you're going to be able to change everything in a matter of just a couple of changes of shades. So basically, as long as you've got your white with you, you can change anything you want. So the background there is now lighter. And then you can just go back over here where I put it in and go back darker with your black again. So you can change everything, no matter what. Even with paper, if you've got gesso, you can just go back over it and over it and over it. Watercolours, you can bleach. If you're using my kits, really, it's not a watercolour paper, it's not a mixed media paper, it's all round paper. So whilst a watercolour you can bleach back out, you can with my paper, but it's not going to work as good as plain watercolour. It works, but I mean on paper it's still paper. You'll not be able to work it as much as this. But at the same time, everything's fixable. Is it? Is that? I'll have to look that up. But there you go, you can go back in and make it darker straight away. Once it's dry, you can just heat it with a heat tool, whatever. I'm going to stop there with that. I will get pictures tomorrow. I'll put that in there so I don't end up with another stick. And tomorrow, that's what we're doing. Faux leather. I've backed mine with fabric. I mean, it's sturdy. If you pull it, it would break. But we're going to make faux leather and we're going to turn it into a folio of some sort. A flippy flappy folio of some sort. I don't know what yet. We'll see. We'll see tomorrow. 5 to 7 I'll probably work out myself. I've missed loads. The moon's hitting the front. Now, Sarah, I like that. I like the words there. But on that note, I'm going to bring this one and show you properly. So this is the darker one. And I've just added colour waxes. And on this one, there's Stamperia flowers, I think, along with the bugs and the crackle. And then all I've done is I've just added the waxes in different colours. Because, I mean, waxes come in every colour under the sun. And basically all I did was this with my finger. And put it on and took it off and put it on and took it off. And you can get white wax as well. Because basically with the bugs, what I was thinking was Egypt and all the bugs are shiny, especially in the Mummy, the film. I know, I don't know. But so this is, I'd say this is more steampunky, but not. Because I would like this in my garden. The other one is a bit more whimsical and vintage. I do plan, as soon as we know that we're not going to get rain one day, I'm going to clean the furniture off. The cupboard I've got to do now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean it. I'm going to sand it back and I'm going to put a base coat on, and then all we'll have to do is paint it. And hopefully we'll get a day where I can do that. So I'll do all the horrible stuff first. But that's that pot. And oh, hi Shaz, lovely. And this is the one that we've done tonight so far. So not happy about it. I might pull it off and put a new one on. But I'll finish painting it off and I'll show you it all tomorrow night. Have a lovely Saturday evening. I won't keep you too much longer. I will see you tomorrow night at 7 p.m. And this hopefully will be tidy again, unless it still looks like this. And we're going to do faux leather and a flippy flappy foldy thing. And we're going to use the leather, the faux leather, with the bright kit and make this more vintagey, hopefully. That's the plan. Maybe. Anyway, thank you so much for keeping us company. I know it's been a bit of a long one. And, oh, I added stuff to the website. I added some handy bits to the website, some tools and things. You can go and have a look at that if you want. But I'll tell you about tomorrow night. Have a lovely Saturday. Bye for now. Bye. Thank you.